School confirmed to FoxNews.com that the after-school program does in fact exist, but they refuse to comment on the specific allegations here. But across the country, parents are standing up to this far-left lunacy, even as the Biden administration is continuing their attack on parents and parental involvement. Now, we have a new whistleblower revelation from inside the Department of Justice. The FBI has now opened multiple investigations into parents protesting far-left education policies. And it gets worse, because according to House Republicans on the Judiciary Committee, the FBI has labeled these dozens of investigations into parents with a threat tag created by the FBI's Counterterrorism Division, as they move ahead. But also a big development tonight in the Durham probe, as the judge in the Michael Sussman case reportedly ruled that Fusion GPS must turn over 22 emails to the special counsel. All right, here to weigh in on all of this, Republican Congressman Jim Jordan with Manhattan Institute fellow Chris Rufo is with us. Jim, all right, so you have these whistleblowers come forward. Yeah. Remember, Merrick Garland under oath denied that they were going to investigate parents at school board meetings. And you have now examples, very specific examples. One dad that was against the mask mandate, for example, it fit the profile of an insurrectionist. And they did an investigation into him. And there are other examples that you've given. So did Merrick Garland lie to the country?
Sure looks like he wasn't square with this, Sean. And that example you just gave about that dad, when the FBI interviewed the person who filed the complaint, that person then said, well, there was no crime, there was no threats. I just thought he looked like someone who might do something we don't agree with. That's not how it works in America. But the apparatus, the process that the administration set up, that Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the United States, set up, is how this all came to light. He did the memo to all U.S. attorneys after the letter was sent to the White House from the School Board Association, and 16 days after he does the memo, the FBI sends out the email saying to establish this threat tag, put it on parents who've been reported on the snitch line Merrick Garland said you needed to set up. That apparatus all worked. And I think the first thing to take away is I've never seen the federal government move that fast. They did all that in 22 days. But it's that apparatus that became the vehicle for over 24 parents to have this designation, this label put on them, and for them to be investigated. This is as wrong as it gets.
So let me understand this, Chris, if I have it right. So we're going to investigate parents that are concerned about COVID policy in school, concerned about age-appropriate education in school, concerned about the lack of standards, reading, writing, math, science, computers that we're not teaching our kids. And they're now investigating these parents, and they're denying it publicly. But we have whistleblowers showing, in fact, they're doing the exact opposite. Where's Merrick Garland? Who else is involved in this?
Well, that's exactly right. And what's happening is very clear. The Biden administration wants to suppress your speech on social media through its disinformation board. And they want to suppress political speech at the local school board level by using the FBI to intimidate parents. I talked to one of the co-founders of Moms for Liberty today. She told me that it's absolutely having an impact. These parents who are just getting out after work, going to participate at the school board meeting in the grassroots democratic process, are now scared to come forward. So in some ways, this suppression campaign is working. But they also told me that most of the moms are not going to back down. They're not going to be intimidated by the Biden administration, which has recklessly weaponized the FBI against moms and dads all over this country.
Jim Jordan, you actually used the words that the whistleblower information is startling. It has to be. How did we get to a point in America where parents are not really wanted? They're not wanted at these meetings. Any involvement is viewed at with a skeptical eye. Now we're even looking into the possibility they're domestic terrorists, and all they're trying to do is be good parents and make sure that their kids get a quality education. Why? I would think the government would want their involvement.
Yeah, we should, but this just underscores why every single voter out there, do not vote for anyone running for office who's not for school choice. Republican or Democrat, don't vote for them unless they're willing to give moms and dads the power to select the school where their son or daughter is going to get the education they think serves their needs. Do not be for school choice, be for those candidates who are for it. That is just so fundamental. But this is the left. The left is against the First Amendment. The left says today, if you don't agree with me, you're not allowed to talk. And if you try, we're going to do everything we can to chill your speech. We're going to call you racist. We're going to call you names, and we're going to try to cancel you online. Nina Jankowicz will come after you. That's what the left is today, and that's what's frightening so many Americans. But I think they're going to show up in a big way in November and put Republicans back in charge.
Jim Jordan, let me switch topics on you. And in the Durham case and this prosecution that's going on with Michael Sussman, the judge ruled the Fusion GPS has to hand over 22 of these emails. It seems like, and I don't want to interpret Durham or guess what he's doing, it seems like he might be getting the whole story, one that we've known for years now.
No, I think you're right. Every new piece of information we get, I think, is good for the American people. I mean, we just had the big story from the Wall Street Journal that said that the dossier was completely made up, completely out of thin air put together. We knew that a long time ago, Sean, and we've been talking about it now for years. But I think every new piece of information Durham gets is helpful to exposing just how this was a complete charade from the get-go.
Are we ever going to get this Durham report? Do we ever get it? We should have had it before the 2020 election.
He's being thorough, but I think we are going to get it. Let's hope it's sooner rather than later.
All right, Congressman.